Welcome to Oh Brother, a podcast where we try to figure it all out with your hosts, Brandon and Collin. On this week's show, an unasked for pick. Ahoy!
Ahoy!
It is Wednesday.
In fact, it is. It is true.
Yeah, I don't feel like we've been able to record on a Wednesday in like a really long time. Sorry about that.
Oh, yes, because I'm the busy one.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, that's why I was apologizing.
Oh, no worries. I'm good.
Oh man, today was it was weird. I started off doing a presentation to some business people about business, and then I drove home. And haven't been able to clear my throat since. So it's been like,
you need the tea. You gotta have the tea action, right? That's what you need.
Oh yeah, no, it was so weird. I was giving have
some chamomile here, not to make you jealous, but I got some chamomile here. So there you go.
Raspberry tea downstairs.
Oh,
raspberry tea.
Stuff, yeah.
I had the most awkward interaction with somebody I was doing an in-person interview with. I was at a table in a coffee shop, and all of a sudden they texted. They said, "I'm here," and I was like, okay, cool. Like, I'm over by the wall under a piece of painting, like a painting. And they texted back and they said, "Hey, I'm in line for coffee. Do you want anything?" And I was like, "No, please, like, thank you. But no, thank you.
Yeah.
I am
I've already had 7. I'm fine.
I'm fine." I was just, it was just threw me off. I was like, nobody. I've interviewed hundreds of people at this point. Nobody's offered to buy me a coffee. And I thought,
did you hire them immediately?
No,
like, you got it.
I should have. Yeah. It's just like you passed the test, Charlie. Just Slugworth. He works for me. Gosh. So anyway, I did hire, but we watched that movie too. The kids were wanting to. They have read the original Roald Dahl book.
Why?
Because
don't you read the horror that is like how your children are scared of like barrel rights, but the horror that is Roald Dahl. Come on in, baby. It's fine. That dude is seriously messed up, right? Like,
well, Lillian did say that the James and the Giant Peach was a little scary, and I was like, yeah, because it is definitely a little scary.
Because it is, man. Right?
So
you read some of his poems. They're like,
no, there are some books. There are some books that I've pre-screened out, but more of the more widely accepted, not terrible pieces of artwork have made it into our abode. So they have been reading that.
So anyway, you did pull the trigger and watch. I'm assuming you watched. The Gene Wilder version.
Yes.
So the correct version,
the canonical version.
This question has gotten harder. Like now,
has
right?
it?
Well, I mean, it's gotten it now has more
intricate
choices. I guess,
yes.
Because it's going to be somebody's favorite movie is the Johnny Depp one. I'm sure, right? And then, if you see that one first.
Fair.
Like first has an advantage, right?
Yeah.
Like whatever you see first does make an impact. So somebody's going to see Timothy Chalamet. There you go. That was hard. Words is hard.
Good job.
And they're going to be like, this is the best thing I've ever seen. And then they're going to go watch the Gene Wilder version and be like,
what is... I will say
they're gonna go, what's up with this tunnel? Where does this come from? What the heck is this psychotic part in this movie? And good. Listeners, if you say that, I will agree with you 100% because that it always just, no matter how many times I watch a movie, it just comes out of nowhere.
Right.
And you're like, what in the unhinged Batman villain is happening right now?
I know.
I don't understand.
It is so bizarre. And I did right as the boat came and Lily went, "Ooh, what a pretty boat." And I was like, yes. Now the next 3 minutes are going to be very weird. And just roll with it. Okay. So let me know if it's too much and we'll pause.
I know I've always had a bit of an attention span problem, but that is another pacing part of that movie where I'm just like, why?
Oh man,
why is this here? Why is this taking so long? Right? Like, I feel that way about a lot of movies, right? You're just like, who left this in?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Who did this? Right? And like, I don't, and for new listeners to the show, hello, welcome. Also, I'm old now. So like, this is not like a new problem. Okay. I'm not like a,
it's consistency here. It's fine.
Yeah, this is a consistent problem, right? This is not like a new trend. Okay. Like, don't be like, oh my gosh, these new generation. I am not the new. Okay, just so you know, if you
right, not this one, not that's not happening.
Right, I was old when I was 10, but like
it's true.
But even like all these movies, that like that part is a part of the movie where I'm just like, what? Why? Skip? Yeah. Like, can I fast forward this? Like, why is this taking so long? I know you want to like build tension and add drama, but it's literally like 5 minutes. It feels like it's like what I can't.
There's no need. There's no need for that.
Yeah.
I will say that the Johnny Depp version holds a tighter line to the book. Like really does. With like So there is that aspect of when I did watch that and I was like, oh,
secret Christopher Lee. So I mean, come on.
This is different. Like this is okay. But yeah, we watched that and I think there was a general like because afterwards I think there was just a general like a sense of from the two new additions to the Willy Wonka world of it. They liked it a lot, but they were also like that was weird. Like that was an interesting movie, and I was going I
think that's most people's first response, right? The first time you watch it, you kind of like, what did I just watch? Like, I don't know exactly what I'm supposed to feel about it. You know what I mean? You're like, I don't know. I don't know what's happening right now.
Right. Yeah. So that was an adventure that we went through so now I've got all those like me worked for me. You get nothing. Like so all those are back.
All the one-liners are just burned in there.
Oh,
yeah.
So
I will say before we're the one good thing about the Johnny Depp version.
Okay.
Right. Speaking just to Johnny Depp, right. It was like the first role I saw him in ages that was like actually a different character.
Oh,
right.
Right.
After Johnny Depp decided to become Captain Jack Sparrow in real life.
Yes.
Like everything he was in was just the same person. Right. It was just like, oh, I'm Johnny Depp. Ooh, I'm Captain Johnny Depp. Right. Like,
oh yeah.
He still kind of is. He has just become Captain Jack Sparrow in real life. Right. If you watch him play guitar with Alice Cooper, was that the Hollywood Undead? It's like the most unnecessary band of all time. It's like Johnny Depp and Alice Cooper and Joe Perry for some reason. I don't know why that exists. But if you look at a picture of him, you're like, oh, it's Captain Jack playing a guitar. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
So it was nice to see like a different Johnny Depp for a minute. Right. Because he has played other types of characters in the past. Right?
Oh, yes.
Crazy stuff. Right. He always plays like weird dudes. Right. One of my favorite Johnny Depp movies is actually, okay, I don't really know how to explain this movie.
Oh, I love this segment.
I'm gonna try to let me Google the byline here.
Is it Rockadoodle? It's Rockadoodle, isn't it? I'm kidding.
No, it's always Rockadoodle, but he's in the movie called Don Juan DeMarco.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Have you seen this thing?
I have not.
It's him and Marlon Brando.
Hey.
Right. And so Marlon Brando is the psychiatrist in this movie. And Johnny Depp's character in the movie is like, thinks he's Don Juan DeMarco, the greatest lover in the world from like the books and whatever, right? Oh. And so he's like treating him, thinking, and it's like it's cheesy. It's like a lame romance movie, right? But like it's just so hilarious to watch, like Johnny Depp and Marlon Brando.
Yeah. Wow,
right?
That came out in the mid 90s, didn't it?
That's 94. 94 is a deep cut. That's a deep cut movie.
Wow.
But this is another movie I watched for the first time on late night television with literally no context.
It's meant to happen.
And it took me ages to figure out what it was. And then my friend and I went and bought it at like a used DVD store.
Yeah.
It was like $3. So, I mean, come on. How can you not do that? And then we watched it again and we're like, this movie low-key good, right? Like I haven't seen it in a few years, but it's one of my favorite Johnny Depp movies just because it's so weird and it does the dumb like 90s thing at the end where it's like cliffhanger, like maybe he really is dumb. But it's like it could be, you know what I mean? Like it leaves that like possibility open
for some reason.
But it's but it's like like Marlon Brando, like through treating quote Don Juan and all this stuff, he treats himself kind of and like opens up and reignites the relationship with his wife and all this stuff, right? So it's like it's actually it's a pretty good movie, but it's weird, right?
Sure.
It is weird. Again, this is a 90s movie, so what's his tagline say? Offbeat. Of course. Hilarious, offbeat, and romantic. It's in a nutshell, according to Google here.
Of course.
You know, as one does. So that's actually just before we move off of Johnny here. Also, you should watch Rango. Have you seen Rango?
I have not, but I've heard a lot of really good things about it.
Oh my gosh, it's so hilarious. If you are like, I like Rango. That movie's hilarious because I like Westerns already.
Okay.
And it's just like a big giant spoof of Western.
Nice.
So I like it. But Juan DeMarco is my pick for the unasked for pick of favorite Johnny Depp movie.
Hey. Also deep cut on this one.
It's a really deep cut, right? Yeah. Let me know, listeners, if anyone in the world else has actually seen this movie. I need to know if I'm alone or if you've seen it. I need your thoughts. Tell me about your thoughts on Juan DeMarco.
I think we'll just assume you're alone and we'll move on.
Like it's just it's me and my high school friend. Right? It's just us two. Those are the only two people I can confirm have seen this movie.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Huh. Yeah, I have never I've heard of it, but I never got a chance to watch it. So that's
definitely own this movie.
Okay. Well, that's special. Goodness. So that was I don't know we've been on this. I don't know. I think it's just because of the weather has been so crummy and other things going on. We've kind of just been on this this movie kick of watching random things. So I'm desperately trying to get through the first book in Lord of the Rings so that we can I don't know. What do you think? What are your thoughts on this? Do I finish the first book and then watch the movie, or do I try and finish all of the books before I try and watch a movie?
I think that this is the tipping point, right? Because you're not going to be able. I feel like you need to forge ahead, right? Because just with the book, right? Just leave the movies on the table for a while. Because number one, it is a little bit scarier, right?
Yeah,
for you know, especially for Noah, right? I don't know if he's,
fair. Yeah.
And I feel like you can watch the first one like by itself pretty okay, but the end is definitely like tune in next week, right? And so it will be really I feel like they won't want to stop, right? And then definitely the second movie, like you just can't stop there.
No,
right? You can't do Two Towers and then stop for a long time.
You have to forge
No one
ahead.
wants that.
Yes.
Right. No one wants to stop after the best movie. Like they don't.
Oh, it's so good. It is.
So I feel like if your plan is to do it this way, I feel like you should just like do the books, right? Like read the one, like take a break, chill, read other stuff, like then go back to the next. That way you can pace it out. Don't got to worry about it.
Makes sense.
And then that'll buy you some time for the movie. Because again, the first one's not like super, like it's a little bit scary maybe for the littles, but like the Two Towers definitely not ready for that one, right? So like, I feel like it would be best to just book it for a while, and then circle back around later.
Okay.
Pick it up.
Makes sense. Makes sense. That's I have the feeling of I want to, I want to get this not over with, but like I want to get this started and get this ball going and everything. But I definitely need to be more patient with this.
Slow burn this one,
which is not usually my way. So
I know, but like it definitely, and you need some space between that because the Two Towers, the book is a bit, it's a little dry, right?
Yeah,
because Tolkien hadn't learned about flipping perspectives yet. So it's like you just get a whole lot of Frodo and Sam stuck in a bog. Right. That's just like
there's a lot of bog action. That is true.
Yeah.
And then they're still there.
Yeah. They're there forever. So like that one's a bit slow.
Fair.
So
fair. Okay. Yeah. So that's we're working our way through that book as a way to we're really coming back and forth between that book and Rackety Tam at this point. So
that is a kind of a jarring and yet completely sensical thing to do, right? Like I feel like
yes. I don't know how we've ended up in this like we're just going to alternate books every couple days, but that's definitely where we are, and I think that's the when we start to reach kind of a scary point in one, we're going to go back to the other one, and then we're going to read up until we kind of reach a scary point in that one, and then we're going to cut the tension by jumping over to another.
Yeah. Where we just left the scary part. Oh, wait. That's the problem. You're going to get like back-to-back scary parts for at least one day. Those different books. Right.
It is definitely a potential problem that I have thought of, but fine. It's fine. Ugh.
I mean, it probably will be fine, but
it'll be fine. For sure. Oh, but yeah. So that's been we've been working on with all that fun stuff. I did give that talk today, and
oh right.
Yeah, no, it's not even tangentially related. It's just one of those things of I like practiced the talk. It was so weird. Like I practiced it. It was a 10-minute thing. I was fine. And like, but I got up there and first off, they had me using a microphone that I had to hold in my hand. And
that's awkward. Especially for you. I don't know.
Hey now, Megan said the exact same thing.
Listeners, I know that you can't see this, right? But Collin is a bit of a hand flailer whilst he's talking, right? I can guarantee you right now that while he's talking to me, he is moving his hands and gesticulating wildly in front of him. So holding a microphone while speaking, not really a good plan.
Very hard for
not
me.
Really. Yeah.
Very hard for me. I talk with my hands so much that I have the number of times I've almost knocked over a drink onto my laptop while I'm interviewing somebody in a coffee shop it's not 0 and it's not even 5. So but yeah, so I had to hold the microphone in my hand, and the reason they did is because the room was completely packed and they were worried about being able to hear at the back of the room. So I totally understand that. But like I've got the microphone in my hand, and also then I'm not the one advancing the slides.
Oh.
And so
I don't trust you with the clicky thing.
I know. So I'm having to like look over and be like, now, Jim, like now he's like,
you should just like start pointing wildly with your hand, right? Like, yo,
yeah. Well, he
switch
said,
Jimbo. Like
he said you could. He said, just like give me a head nod or like just point. And I was like, none of those. None of those are good options, Jim. None of those. So
you just like scream now, and like
I should have now. So I would just look. I would just I'd point over to the thing, and I'd go, "Oh, okay," and I would like gesture to him. Mm-hmm. For some reason, the combination, broke the flow, right? And the combination, but between that and then having to hold something in front of my face, I started to get really anxious in front of people talking because, and like so much so that I was talking and then I switched the microphone to my other hand and I noticed my hand was shaking. And I'm sitting there holding a microphone, staring at it while it's actively moving back and forth. And I'm like, what is going on? Like I had the wherewithal to recognize that my body was acting differently than where my brain was.
Yeah.
And then suddenly all the moisture from my mouth was like, gone.
Could it be the 9 espressos that happened before this? Maybe. Could it be?
Who knows? It was. And so I had a one-off quip where I knew that a lot of people were in the audience and they were from an entrepreneur class.
No.
From a university in town.
Oh. Would it be a state Missouri? State university, perhaps?
Yeah. Say one of those. They
probably didn't listen to the show. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
No, it's fine. No, they're too busy learning about not actually running a business. So I just said like, sorry if I'm kind of talking a little bit fast to you for all of you taking notes. I'll do my best to slow down here, which gave me a time to like take a big breath, like kind of comically, like, so that I could actually like get
ingest
myself
some oxygen. Yeah.
Yeah. From the air. I was like, it's in here somewhere. It was just, I was so caught off guard by this. I was not expecting to have that kind of reaction. And I think it was like, I didn't really have that much coffee beforehand. It was like a cup of black coffee. Like that's what I had. So I think it was just my pacing was off and I felt really awkward with the microphone and that I couldn't like move my arms because that's what I do of like walk around. And all of that sent my body into like, we should be running away right now. Like should, this is flee.
I don't know why they wouldn't just give you a clicker thing, right? Like it feels like if you're presenting a big thing in front of people, what you don't want to do is rely on other people to click the slide for you. It's the worst.
Yes.
Right? When you're watching it, it's so jarring to have like somebody talk and then have to sit and wait, and then they like click the too far, and then they got to go be like, no, back one, man, and then like it's a whole thing, and it's just those clickers aren't expensive, right? You just give it to them, click the button, boom, like that's it. It's like 2 buttons on those things, right? And mine has 3 because I have the pointy thing, but like do love the laser pointer, right? I get a lot of mileage out of that. But yeah, it's just so bad. Also, importantly, right? A lot of good presentation jokes come from the timing of when you click the slide. Right? And so like you build tension and dramatic effect in your presentation by like saying something and then like clicking it and having the thing appear behind you. Mm-hmm. Right? It's a timing thing. And if you got to be like, no, then like you lose any bit of like comic value that you have, right? To like keep people's attention. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Instead of having it just be like a really dry, boring thing.
Yeah, you lose all that momentum that you have. You lose the I'm going to say like rapport, like that you're building with people, and
they do kind of because it gets all stilty.
Right, they get taken out of it. Right? That's what's really frustrating to me in those moments is to be taken out of the moment of listening to somebody and following along with a story. And not that I was like, I was the best and they should have paid attention to me and blah, blah, blah. But I've been in situations where it's like this, I would be so engaged right now if it weren't for the technological issue going on and or the sound in the room. It's like it's easy for me to get distracted, and I know it is for other people as well. Like that was something that when we went through like speech class and stuff, they were like, your job as the speaker is to minimize the number of distractions that you bring to your audience. And for me, that's all like, okay, so one of my things is like, you know, figuring out like tics that you do or like weird movements, or I talk with my hands a lot. So I know that's distracting. So I do try and tame that down a little bit. Not very good at it. But you know, it's just like I don't want anything to distract from somebody being able to learn from this or something, or like to enjoy this or to get to the point that I want, and to have to turn and say, okay, now. Yep. Yeah. Okay. There we go.
Now.
And then, you know, and then
I'm sorry. Unbidden into my mind came the scene from American Tail when that lady's like screaming, "We waste the weapon." And like it's not working. And she turns, "We waste the blasted weapon." Because it's like not going in time with the plan, right? That's what.
Yes.
What a bitch like to get my head.
Oh my gosh. I have not thought about that whole thing.
Oh, into the movie. It's so good.
Wow.
Take my weapon. Oh man, listeners, that just another side tangent for that Colin get back to talking, but that is definitely if you missed it, that is on my list of movies ruined by a single character, and unfortunately, it's Fievel. It ruins the whole movie. Terrible. But all right, anyway, sorry.
No, it's fine. That is such a wow. I'm gonna I've got to go back and watch that movie now because that's hilarious. But
I just can't, dude. I can't stand his voice. Other than that, the movie's great, except for Fievel's voice.
Yeah, you know that whole like Feifel goes west thing. Oh
yeah. Well, we don't talk about that one, but
it's fine.
That one's a little too zany, right?
Bringing in that really terrible main character energy, unfortunately. But no, I we did that talk and got some good feedback and stuff from people, and I had that moment where as I'm sitting there talking with people and they're coming up to me, the phrase have you considered or have you thought came up so many times, and I was like, okay, like I had to remind myself, like, because there were times where they would say something and I'd be like, yeah, we thought about that 2 years ago and it's not going to work because XYZ, but like they don't know that. And then
like, yeah, I tried that and we aborted that mission, right? Like,
right. And sometimes it's just too long. Like I can't spend 15 minutes describing the intricacies of why that didn't work. And then sometimes people would say, have you considered? And it was actually something that we hadn't considered, or, you know, or I knew immediately. Sometimes it was, I immediately knew it would never work. But like just this pummeling from all these sides, and in the moment being like, how do I capture these? Because some of these are good ideas, or do I just like go, yep, yep, I'll do. Let me write that. Yeah, send that to me in an email. Or like, let me move through here. Because
don't say that.
So I make my way to the back, and the one thing that they were doing today was they were going, we have partnered with a local podcast, and they are going to start interviewing all of the presenters that come to this to be put on the podcast. So we get a little bit of extra exposure as this event, and you get a little bit of exposure as a local person, and blah, blah. Won't that be great? And I'm like, okay, so like, what's it going to be about? And the person goes, just like about what you do, why you do it. You know, it's, nothing too bad. And I was like, okay, so like, how long is this going to be? She's like, I mean, it won't be. I mean, I'd like for it to be like, maybe 10 minutes if that's okay. And I'm like, I can do that in my sleep anyway. Sit down. I'm fine.
Move over. Give me that chair.
And it's like, he's on over here. And then she goes, oh, by the way, there's a camera over there. So I'm going to record a video and I'll have audio from these microphones in front of us and I'll sync them up later. And I was like, oh, I hate cameras. Oh, no. Well, now this is not good because also like the stands they have for the microphones are so they're the little like triangle ones that I have that we've recorded on, which look wonderful. Like they look so nice, but you're 14,000 feet away from the microphone.
Yes.
And so I'm a bit taller in stature. And so I was already like hunched over the microphone because I was like, "Does this sound good?" She said, "Oh, that sounds great. Just stay just like that." I'm literally hunched over the microphone.
My spine. No, yes. I can't.
And then I realized, no, but I'm on camera. So I can't sit like this because I'm going to look like an
Quasimodo, the dog walking hunchback.
Yeah. Like I'm going to look so weird because she's this petite little like 4'11" person who's sitting there and it's just like the microphones are right in her face and I'm like hunched over, like grabbing it towards me like an orangutan, like, oh my gosh.
Just hold it in your hand. You just hold it in your hand again.
Like I know how to solve this. So I'm expecting like, first, and then she's using the same recording equipment that I am. And I didn't say anything because I'm like, look, it's not my place. But I am watching her use it. And I immediately know.
You went to dad mode, right? Like, you're doing it wrong. Just let me see it. Just do it.
Well, I was watching her and I got the sense and I was like, oh, she's not familiar with this. This is not.
It's a new thing. Yeah.
This is a new thing. So I'm just going to, but look, she's the person interviewing. I'm just going to sit here and watch, but I watch her press the record button and then she presses it again. But I know you just have to press it once because then the red light starts flashing, but she thinks it's a double tap. So I watch her double tap and she turns to me. I know it's not recording and she just launches into an opening.
Oh no.
And I'm trying to catch her and be polite about it. And she stops and she asks me a question. And I went, oh, I don't think that red light's blinking. Was this supposed to be recording? And she goes, oh, I thought something was weird. And then she turns to me and she goes, do you know how to work this? And I went, well, I think you just have to press the button one time. And she goes, oh, okay. So then she does another opening.
You're that's complete. Yes.
That's yeah. Don't ask me that because I have to give you a talking to. So I just said, I think if you push that button one time, that's all we need. And then she did a new intro that was nothing like the other one that she did the first time, which was way more conversational opening. She was just like, well, we're here at this place and I'm here with this person. And what's your last name? And I was like, told it. And she's like, cool. So why did you want to be here today? And she asked me 3 questions of like, why did I want to present? What did I get out of it? And how would I encourage other people to come? And she's like, well, thanks for being on the podcast. Bye. I was like, that was like 4 minutes or less.
That's weird.
And I thought like, so I'm just gonna be a little selfish here of like, I thought
it was about me. What are you talking
about? Talk about me a little bit more. So anyway, so I stood up and slunked away. And I'm like, well, fine. They can enjoy that promo, and I'll be.
That's weird.
And then I drove home. So
she gaslit you. She knew what she was doing the whole time.
I got lured. Collin got suckered.
Suckered again. No.
Yeah. Yes.
Duped.
And then I felt bad because then the business thing was using a photo that somebody had taken of her and I behind microphones, and they were like, learn more about this pet sitting company on the such and such podcast. And I was like, after I saw that, I was going, oh no, like you don't learn anything about me up there. Like that's just why. Oh, I was so angry. So angry.
Bamboozled even.
Yes.
That's what they get.
So people just be honest. Fine. Fine. Oh. So that was my day.
What a fun-filled, exciting day.
I've been ending it. So we are, Megan and I are going to be going to a conference for pet sitters. But not from our business, from our podcast. And so, but we have a booth this time. And so I have been quite flummoxed by what exactly we do with a booth that's a podcast that doesn't sell anything. Or so here's what I have. Because we don't have products, we don't have merchandise, I don't have a course, I have nothing for people. I don't need people's emails. I mean, sure, but whatever. So I
won't email you.
I won't. So we are going to set up just a table, like a booth, with our mobile recording equipment, with Megan and I on one side and open mics facing the outside.
Oh, danger.
Okay.
Yeah.
People can come sit. Megan and I are going to be like trying to live podcast through a lot of this, of just like our thoughts, things that we're seeing. And I can put all that into an episode.
Yeah, cut it out and stuff.
Yes.
Cut out all the parts where she whacks you for saying the bad jokes and like.
Yes. Me crying. I was then we're like, well, we have to like give something away. Like, what kind of swag would we give? Like, what kind of
tennis balls, I'm guessing.
Well, we thought about but like
the dog walk pack, right? Tennis ball, baggies, other things. I don't know.
See, this is tough. So here's one thing of a lot of the promotional materials that you can buy. You'll first look at them and you'll be like, oh, it's $1.19 a piece.
Oh, that's not
amazing. Yeah. Oh, what's the minimum order?
Yeah, it's like 500 though.
I need to order 500 custom leashes? No, thank you.
No, thanks.
No. So, and it's there's just enough people attending there's 200 people, which is just large enough to make nicer objects way out of our price range. It's also just small enough that it's way under the minimum order for a lot of the products that we would typically buy. And we're not wanting to make a habit of going to these things all the time. And we don't know
what's going or whatever.
Yeah, right. Like, we don't know how this is going to go. This is our first one. So our instinct is to always go with the minimum viable option of whatever we can do. Like, basically, what's the cheapest way we can get into this with, and like still showing, a good, not good face, but like that we tried and still representing ourselves well. And so we came up with stickers, because everybody loves stickers. And that's why I sent you those 2 stickers things. And I agree with you. We need the one that I sent with like just a weird saying. It's like, that's not enough for a sticker to be worthwhile. So we print it off, and for stickers, it's like, oh, you can print off 500 of these for $19.
Yeah. And the good thing is, like, if you have extra stickers, it's not going to take up a lot of real estate in a place, right? You just like put them in a folder and like, okay,
yes.
I'll use these later. Like, I don't know.
Yes, I can do something with these. It's going to be fun.
Leave them for my clients or something, right? Like,
yes, or I can like mail them to people. I don't know. We haven't really got that far.
Who knows? Who knows?
So I just have a booth that I'm going to have a table with a cloth over it with a recording set up out, so it's somewhat interesting. Stickers for people to take, but I want a banner. But okay, so I want a banner. But here's the thing:
a tablecloth.
So we do have a tablecloth. I do have a black tablecloth, and it's a fitted tablecloth that
that's what
the nice ones. Okay, I do have one of those. But I want a banner, and I don't want a banner that hangs in front of the table, because if people are sitting at the table,
then they'll hit the banner.
They'll hit the banner.
You can't see it.
Nobody can see it.
It's got to hang overhead.
Okay, but those are huge.
True.
And you have to bring things to attach them to, because not every booth has that unless you bring that equipment to stretch it out over.
You should bring one of those those like big, I don't know, they use them for like picnicking and stuff. There's just like a tent thing, that you just like the bag thing, but you like it's like a bag gazebo or whatever.
Yes.
It's like
I don't know what those are actually called.
Awning thing. Yeah, I don't know what the name is, but like those things. Just get one of those. Can you hang a banner on that?
Well, but right? I'm inside the building.
Doesn't matter. They have them at craft fairs all the time.
Okay.
Right? We went to the craft fair here in town. It's in a pavilion, and there was dudes with tents, and because their banner hangs on the tent.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter where you go.
So that's actually, I didn't think about that. What we landed on was a retractable banner, one that starts, it's rolled up at the base, and you pull it up from the top, and so it extends upward. And it's a tall, skinny thing.
Like those ones that we used in the Miss Saigon show at marching band.
Yes.
Yeah?
Only not quite as large.
I know, but that's that vertical style, though.
Yes, that vertical style that comes up.
There's a deep cut of lore there for listeners. There you go.
I'll never forget one of the kids at where were we, who came up and said, "How do you know those don't say death to America?"
Yeah, this is a post 9/11 world, right? Like immediately after, I think, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. And I didn't have an answer for him because I was so blown away by this.
Like, because we painted them. Like, we got the material from the Broadway show. Like,
what are you talking about? It was so out of left wing. I mean, right wing, but it was so insane.
It's very out of right wing. That's true.
Somebody would come up, and that was their first response after an amazing performance. And again,
obviously,
I mean, my only job was to hold the banners in the back of the field, but that's beside the point. But yeah, it's just, how do you know those don't say death to America? What? But yes, those tall, skinny things, and they're it's like but these are 21 inches by 48 inches or whatever. Like these skinny rectangles. And so now I'm going, cool. I want this. What do I put on it? How do I make this interesting? Because I guess I have to make some graphics. I don't want this to be text heavy.
I got it. You already have the design.
I have one that I have worked on.
Okay.
What I have done is it's tall and vertical. So I have made it into a phone, and it is playing like it's kind of like a quasi podcast player with information about us with
the legally distinct podcast player, right?
Yes, and a legally distinct phone that I grabbed. It's just like generic rounded rectangle with black edges, But yes, I have turned it basically into like it looks like a phone with a podcast player with like the play controls and some information about us with our album artwork. Nice. That's what I've done.
Okay. That's how it works.
Okay.
I was imagining because since it's a vertical banner, right? I'm imagining you can have some information like there, but throughout, right? What you need to have is like dog footprints going up one side, and then like people footprints on the next side, right? Because you're like walking the dog, right? And it's like zigzagging slightly all the way up the banner, right? You put your information in front of that. There you go. And it's
like, footprints. I'll just completely.
I don't know how well that will read on a banner, but that's the thing I thought of at first.
Yeah. Right? No, that's good. Yeah. Little bubbles with information, and then reading into it.
Yeah. Yeah. And then because it's like traveling, and you have in my mind, I know this is important graphically, but the dog footprints are on the right side. Right. And the people footprints are on the left side, just kind of like tracking. Right. There you go. It's kind of slowly weaving back and forth. Right. So that's what I thought of, because it's like, it reads, pet walking and like dog things and like pet things, but like subtly.
Yes. Right. Now I've got to figure out. Okay, well that will take me some time.
But yeah, but the bubbles might not be big enough for your information if you do it that way.
Well, right? Yeah, and most of the sample banners and things like that they have, like, they're very simple, and it's usually just like big name of thing and colors. But that's I'm like, that's hard for me to do. I'm not like, as much as I want to be a minimalist, I am such a maximalist. It's not even funny. Like, I just like the guys, I say that while I'm like, yeah, I really want to be a minimalist. On my desk, I have so many like little things that I'm touching here that I'm like, well, I can't. Like, we have like Megan's one of like. I'm holding in my hand the second generation iPod Nano that Megan had years and years ago. It still turns on and everything. I like to just hold it because it feels good in my hand.
There we go.
like this. Oh yeah, it's that's what I do. So anyway,
for nostalgia reasons, you should make your banner not a phone but an MP3 player.
Oh, and I could just confuse everybody.
Just put the circle thing on there, right? The circle thing.
Yes.
Like not the nano iPod, but like the stick one, or like the one that was slightly bigger that still had the screen on it, but it was just, you had that thumb wheel deal on there, and you just
they would be so confused.
Could be like, what the heck?
What are they doing over here?
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
It is all perfectly okay.
Perfectly normal. Everything is okay.
Yeah. So anyway, so I'm trying to get this taken care of, because like printing, and I also have to obviously save time for what happens if it comes back and it's like,
and it's garbage.
Yeah, just utter garbage. And I really should go to a print shop, because there are things like, I don't know what the difference between standard plus, premium plus cassettes are, or whether I would like vinyl or polyester fabric. I don't know.
Yeah.
I really don't know. It's just what they have. So trying to go through that world of, I need this done, but also I don't like it. They are costly. Like, they're just costly enough to buy. I'm going, I really don't want to make an ill-informed decision about this, right?
Yeah, that's true. Because if you buy it once and it's pretty good, then like the potential for using it multiple times is like good, right? Like, even if it's for like other random stuff, like you have it.
Yeah.
So you can just like use it for stuff. But getting it gun good the first time, a little tricky.
Yeah. And that's the other thing of going, well, I don't want to put too many specifics on here of true. Like number of downloads, number of episodes, number of podcast guests. I don't want to put anything like that. So it should be.
No, you just print that on a piece of paper and stick it nearby.
No, I just leave a spot blank, and that's where I just
tape it on there. Yeah, just tape a piece of printer paper on there.
Yeah,
this is definitely something I would do. Right, this is how I would do things. Right, I'd be like, just tape it on there, bro. It's fine.
Now celebrating over, and there's just a blank spot. And then downloads, and then I can just write in my Sharpie on a piece of paper and tape it on there.
I mean, you could print off the paper.
No,
right?
No.
So it's like official. Notes. You could like print it off. Just throw it in Google Docs and just like type it up, right? Bullet it out, blam, and then just tape it up there. So just leave it 8.5 by 11 blank on your board.
think that may actually have been key. That's
right. I think that's what I would do. Because like I don't care about things like this. Like I'm very much with things like that, right? I'm like, does it work? Fine. Like I don't care what it looks like, right? I'm the worst teacher ever because like I have like all this stuff that I've made. Like, does it look like cute and adorable? Absolutely not. I don't care. It's like Times New Roman, double spaced, done. Here you go, kids. Deal with this.
Well, yeah. I mean,
like I'm not gonna be like, oh, it's all adorable and great. No, okay. I'm not gonna put a border on this. Get out of here. Kids are gonna lose it anyway. Why would I do that? So it makes editing it much faster. You just blast it out there. It's fine. So yeah, I would just like put a piece of paper, like tape it off. People be like, "That doesn't look professional." Like, what do you mean? This is like ultimate cost benefit savings. I get to use this infinite number of times. Updated information on the go. Perfect. Like, I don't see the problem.
No, that updating it is important because if you have to go through a hassle of redesigning or resubmitting graphics and all sorts of stuff and spacings,
that's gross.
You just won't, and you'll end up going, well, I'll just leave it here, and that's the other thing of going. I'm trying not to be precious with this, but also going, I also I don't know what to do with this. This is such a weird thing when we had this opportunity come up and we said, yes, we'd love to be able to do that, blah, blah, blah. Now what? Like, because I know what we would do if we had a product or if we were coaching or if I had, if I had memberships or things like that. But like, I don't have any of that. This is just the podcast is the product and I just need to be here to talk to you and see if you listen to it. And if not, okay, bye. So just being like, hey, here's some information about us if we're not here at the table. That's apparently what I'm thinking.
True. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like that's, especially because it's like a first time kind of test the waters of a situation. Like you kind of have to like do the best you can. We talked about this before, right? You do the best you can and you see what happens. And if you do it again, now you have a baseline to judge from. Right now, this would work better or this, right? You just kind of have to go for it and see what's going to happen.
Yep. And because yes, it's if I sat here long enough, I could probably get a much better version, but then I wouldn't have one ready to go. In time,
right? It would be ready. It would be ready in like 6 to 8 weeks,
months,
like months. Next year.
Yes. I'll pick it up next time. And so I in one sense, I'm like, okay, I am happy that there is a time sensitivity to this because it means that we're just going to Collin is just going to have to go. We'll just punch through this and it'll be fine.
True. Because I'm pretty sure the other person is going to be like, yes, do that. It's fine.
Going to say, I don't care. Stop. And I'll be like, well, but wait a minute. We didn't try.
She'll go,
like just do it. Like, hold on. What I need to do is I need to try all possible combinations of all the hex codes. Hold on. I'll be right back. just leave me be. It's fine.
Oh no. That's not good.
So I'm, trying to be a reasonable human being and stuff and things. But I also hopefully you haven't had to be as any neurotic decisions that you're trying to make or overcome these days.
Oh no, we're doing. I'm doing
that's no
not
fun.
doing anything too crazy, right? I don't know. Maybe we should. Yeah, here. If you need more neurotic, maybe we'll design some stickers for this show too. There you go. Get that going, right? Throw them up on somewhere. There you go. Need some. some nice stickers out there. Right, listeners, you want stickers? Collin's in the mood for more. No, I'm just kidding. Well, but if you want stickers, let us know. We'll see what we can do. It'd be great.
Yes, I'm saying. Again, I just need to survive this, and we'll see what happens.
Oh yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
What have you managed to stay in school for longer than a day at a time?
Yeah. Yes. Somehow, some way, managed to go many days in a row now. So it's a little bit confusing. I don't know what to do with myself. Like, what do you mean I got to be at school all week? What is happening?
Not what I do?
Yeah. What is this wizardry happening right now? I don't know. So, but yeah, it's been all right. It's sort of like, okay, all right, now we can do like normal things. We don't have to be like looking over your shoulder to be like, all right, we're going to do this today. What's happening tomorrow? What's the weather doing? Right. You don't have to like,
who knows?
Kind of have to be like, anyway, like, so we're just like, okay, we're just going to go now. We're just going to do the things that we're supposed to do and get on with it.
Well, that's nice though.
So yeah, it's been nice just to be like, okay, an actual routine. Okay, remember routine? Remember that? Remember how this works? Like, blah, back to normalcy. So yeah, that's been handy at least. So
good.
Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. We have I think Monday is like an in-service day.
Oh,
so we'll get a small break in stride there, but like it was a scheduled one anyway, so I've figured that out, and I'll probably have lots to complain about after that. So sure. Tune in next week to see the horror that is that, because it's going. Here's your preview. Okay, I don't know a lot currently, but it's going to be the active shooter in service training thing. Yes. Which, yeah, looks fun. There you go.
Yeah, not what you want to be spending time doing, but also yeah, welcome everybody.
Yeah, welcome to yeah.
All right.
So yeah, tune in next week for that. Let you know how that goes. Hear me ripping on the local sheriffs if they handle this poorly again. So we'll just
yeah, I think we have a long history of quality entertainment provided.
Yeah, right. So we're gonna keep it up here. Yeah, it goes. But yeah, I'm not looking forward to this. It's really not very exciting, because I was like, oh man, I have stuff I can do on this day, and I'm gonna be able to do things. I got an email today. I was like, oh no,
actually,
oh come on,
all those hopes and dreams you had. No,
yeah,
no.
And then they're just like gaslighting you again, because like the email started with, we're sorry we didn't get this out earlier. Like you just forgot. Don't lie to me. You just forgot and didn't think anyone would notice. Yeah. Like stop. Like this isn't a thing that you can just like plan spur of the moment. Yeah. Right? No, like you can't just be like, hey, entire sheriff's department, would you come in 3 days? Like that's not how this works. So don't be like, oh, we're real sorry about this, but like you didn't.
We had no way.
This wasn't like a change of plan. Like you can't just surprise schedule this. There's not.
Yeah.
Stop it.
This was on.
There's a lot of moving pieces here. Don't lie to me.
Oh yeah, that's bad. Yeah,
it's real bad.
Oh.
So yeah, look forward to grumpy Brandon next week.
Oh.
The only reason, listeners, I'm going in with this attitude, you might be thinking like, well, that's a terrible attitude to have. You might be right. But the history that we have at my school of doing these is quite poor. And so I don't really just have like stellar expectation for how this is going to go.
Yeah. They have a track. There's a known track record here.
And they're dealing with a known commodity somewhat. So like, I don't actually know what to expect. But my expectations aren't good.
I don't know what to expect.
Yeah,
they aren't good.
I may recap past events for you if if time allows next week. I'll tell you a little bit about how it goes. So was that
sounds fantastic?
Oh yeah, but
yeah, what I have learned is that you always trust. I know people say don't judge. Past performance does not indicative for in stock investing. They're like past performance is not indicative of like future success or anything. Like
in stocks that's true. In people.
Eric, pro tip: it's very true. Like
it's very true,
really true. Unless that person comes to you and they actively say, "Look, I know I have not been doing well at this. I recognize that, and I'm working to change that." Unless they say that, just you know how it's all going to turn out.
Yeah. Spoilers: they will not ever say that.
Yeah. No, you want them to. Just
I know you do. You know what they do, right? And they just like, oh yeah, it's fine. Again, it's just like a bunch of gaslighting and nonsense. Like they're like, oh yeah, we never said that. If you're gonna hit me at the beginning of the year in our motivational beginning of the year meeting, if you're gonna drop the whole like prior planning prevents poor performance shtick on me, and then have a whole year of like forgetting to plan stuff, don't expect me to look kindly upon.
oh no!
Right? Oh. If you're gonna do that and then like not follow up at all, like come on, my guy, like what? Like you can't be doing that.
Okay, that bad. People in those positions forget that like, and of like, hey, the example that people are looking for, like it's you.
Yeah, it's spoilerinos.
It's you, and until you get that through your head, and still management or whoever gets it through their head of like, no, it is you that not just we are looking for, but everybody's looking to.
Yeah.
It's like nothing's going to happen here. Like you're never going to see any different results. And then people get frustrated and angry. Like, well, I don't understand why people aren't, insert what they don't think people aren't. And it's like, because.
Yeah. Anyway. Spoilers. It's not me.
I was doing I did the thing, right? You told to do the thing and I was doing the thing and that's what we were doing. And I thought that's why, but no. Okay, fine. Never. Guess not.
Yeah. So we'll see. Again, we'll see. Sure, we'll reserve final judgment for actual time, but we'll see how it goes.
So, okay.
Yeah. Woohoo. That's what I have to look forward to next week.
That's that's not fun.
No. Listen, we challenged ourselves to, as a podcast endeavor featuring brothers, right? We challenged ourselves to talk about favorite musical acts that contain brothers or siblings. It, could be sisters, right? Yes. Whatever. So that contains siblings of some sort, right? And so we have assembled a list of sibling musical acts with, on my end at least, much gnashing of teeth and kind of uncertainty.
Well, okay. So this one was very interesting to me because I had to do a lot of research into this which is not something because I honestly I only had a very, very few number that just right off the top of my head, I knew for certain that they had siblings in them. And then I had to decide but did I like that group or do I just know of the group? And then I'd have to like think of groups or like read lists and be like, oh, okay, cool. Well, I like that group, but I didn't know they had siblings in them. So this one was a weird one to kind of
it's harder back than I thought. Into. Yeah. I did the similar thing, right? My list is like the way that I finally settled on it is like if you like gave me the choices of these right now, which ones would I pick to listen to? Right. Because a lot of the band, like on the list of like sibling bands, there's a lot of them that are good, but like I like one song. Right. And so I couldn't put it on the list of like favorites if I like one song.
Yeah.
Right. I can't be like, oh, I want to listen to that. Like, I might want to listen to a song and then be like, okay, I'm done now.
I'm done. Yes, I'm fine.
Because a lot of them are like, a lot of these are not like bands that I would actively seek out. I mean, they are. These ones that I settled on are. But like a lot of them on the list are like, oh yeah, I've heard them. And that's kind of it. That's kind of where it stops, right? My enthusiasm stops there, right? So it was kind of hard to decide on the final one. I still have one that I'm like, I don't know. I should have put them on my list because I really like them, but like I only listen to them sometimes, right? So I mean, I like, you know what I mean? That's where I was at. I was like, I like this band, but I don't listen to them like a ton, but I do like them. But also, I don't like actively seek out the music. But like if it's on and I find it, I enjoy it, right? It's like it's hard. Like the final kind of qualification was difficult for me to settle on.
Yeah. And so I don't know if I have these in any real particular order.
Oh, I don't either. No.
Yeah, okay.
This is like a list, right? It's not like these are 5 that I like.
Yes. Yeah, that is for sure. And yeah, I don't know. This may be just my my bias here, but I don't. I'll just go ahead and say it. I have a lot of just of older bands on here. Like I don't.
I have a couple older ones. I have some weird stuff on here. This list is very odd.
Okay. Okay.
I think this says a lot about me here, where I am at musically. Again, too, the other problem is my listening to music depends on like the mood that I'm in.
Oh, sure.
Right? Or like what I'm feeling at the moment. So, as always, asterisk, subject to change.
These are ones that came up in research and were top of mind during this.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes it hard because then that's like the next day you're like, oh yeah, I could use that one as well.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. And I have one band specifically on my honorable mentions list where I'm like, oh, I like that band. I cannot like actively listen to them, but I wanted to at least mention them.
Oh,
right. But they're not on the top. They're not in the top faves.
Okay. So, well, I don't know how you want to do this. If you want to just round robin, or if you want to go through your top 5, not top 5 or whatever.
I think we'll just round robin. That's usually how we do these things. It works better that way.
Yeah.
That way we can have stuff. So yeah, we can do that. We'll just go bouncy, like switch
until we run out. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I do have a firm number 1 as of like this week, right? Like it's the one I've been listening to this band a lot after I found them. So like I like them the most right now. So like I kind of have a 1. It's like, ish, but like
okay.
So that's where I'm at. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Why don't you kick us off here?
Oh boy. All right. The moment I have been dreading, right? I feel like I'm going to do it. I'm just going to pull the trigger. I'm going to put on the dark horse in my first list spot. I am going to put on Bad Brains. I'm going to do it.
Okay.
Put on Bad Brains, right? DC hardcore, right? Pioneers and legends, Bad Brains. I like that. I like a lot of that genre of music, right? And so like, I just feel like this is a good band to put in there because they have brothers in them and they're like a really important band. And I like Bad Brains, and I have like I think I have a Bad Brains album somewhere. So like, I feel like that counts, right? If I own a Bad Brains or have owned a Bad Brains CD at some point in my life, I feel like that makes them for the list.
Okay.
Right? But yeah, it's like
it does. And they're they were in the 70s, right? From back in
76, right? It was the first thing, but yeah.
Okay.
But they were popular in like the 80s too. And so like they were through the 80s. But yeah, like East Coast hardcore kind of music, right? Like I just like Bad Brains. I like the sound, I like the energy, I like the vibes, I like Bad Brains. So
okay.
Yeah, my list. I'm gonna do it. Pull the trigger. I'm adding Bad Brains to my list. I feel like that's good. I feel like it's good. Right. Plus, who just doesn't love Band in DC? It's a great song. Right. It's killer. So like
this is a good point. This is a good point. Yeah. It's definitely good. I mean, I'm looking at my list. I'm shuffling things around right now. I'm really I don't know. So I'm going to put it on here. This is one that I actually do like to listen to. There are probably people will say they're overrated. Fine, whatever. Also hailing from the late 60s, early 70s. Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Nice.
I actually, who doesn't love a little CCR in their life?
Yeah, so, I'm gonna go ahead and spoil it. That was my next one on my list too. So there we go. We'll just combine this together, right?
Okay. Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
No, they're just, I don't know what else to say. Like, I do enjoy listening to them. They're not on my like top high rotation, but they're one that I don't think they have a song that I don't like at all. And they're just, I don't know. They're good. So. Okay.
Yeah, I like them too. That's a band that's like, you forget that there are two brothers in it, right? Because everybody knows John Fogerty, right? But there's also Tom Fogerty.
Tom.
Whoops.
Turns
don't forget
out.
About Tom, right? Like, right, don't forget about him.
Yeah.
That's really good. I didn't realize that they were not really a band for that long either.
No, just 3 years, 4 years.
Yeah, like 4 years. That's it.
That's the other part of like, obviously they had a massive impact on it, but like discography wise, like there's not much out there. Like again, they have tons of songs. Don't hear what I'm not saying.
But they don't have tons of like albums. Right.
Right. But they weren't producing for 20, for 2 decades or 3 decades. So it kind of changes the mix that they have in the pop culture, I guess.
It does, right? But I did discover an astounding CCR fact.
Oh,
I was stopped dead in my tracks when I read this. Right now, I read that their greatest hits album, it was released in 1976, right after the band broke up, is still on the Billboard Top 200 list.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's been on there for over 600 weeks.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, I read this fact on something. I was like, hold on. I don't wait, what?
How?
So I think when you say influential, I feel like that is the understatement of the year, right? I feel like a lot of people just like CCR, right? I don't.
That's great. Yeah, because they stopped in 72. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Gee.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is okay. That is.
That's stupefying, right?
You don't know what to do with that fact.
Yeah. It's kind of like, I don't know how to process this information.
Wow. Hey, that's well, that's fine.
There you go. That's fun, right? That's fun. But yeah, it's so catchy, so groovy, right? I just like it. So I agree. I agree with that because I also have it on my list.
Okay.
There you go. So that means technically it's your turn for number 4. Yeah.
Okay.
For A number 4.
Number
A next.
Wait.
Your turn for number next.
Well, no, it'd be my number 3, I guess. Or no. So it's my my next one. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
because I did Bad Brains, and then you did CCR, and then I also did CCR, and so now it's your turn.
Well, now I'm like, oh, how that's okay. Yeah. Well, my next one is this is hard because I started to do searches for like of making sure like, okay, what about this music genre or whatever. So I had to have a punk rock representative. Anyway, I'm pulling on the Ramones for my next one for this. So yeah, with and that one I will say technically this is I always have one where I'm kind of cheating here.
True.
They're not biologically related.
I think we count it though.
But they adopted the same last name, right?
Canonically,
they're
brothers.
They are brothers,
right?
So this is right. This is where we're extending. It's sometimes you get to choose.
I'll allow it.
Okay,
I'll allow it because I love the Ramones, so I'm gonna allow this.
Okay, thanks. Thanks. So I just have to make that one caveat because there's always going to be one person who's like, well, actually, they're not actually brothers. Well, yes, they are because they're, canonically they are.
Canonically, they're brothers. So it's okay. No, I definitely allow that. That's fine.
Good because it's on. Anyway.
Very nice. Let's see what to put next. I think next here. Yeah, I think we have to do. I think next for my next one. I guess this is the third one I have mentioned.
Yes,
in no particular order. I'm gonna put Gojira. I'm gonna pull out the brothers, and we're gonna go Gojira.
Nice.
Right. It's really sometimes I just like to listen to massive walls of noise and really cool groovy guitar parts. So
yeah,
gonna go with Gojira. It doesn't hurt that also fun Gojira fact for today. They have the world record for loudest concert ever. So that's fun.
Really? Where?
Yeah.
What?
I don't remember where it was, but I don't know if it was the one in France or their Red Rock concert is really cool though. I watched that before. I just like Gojira. Sometimes I like just loud music. I don't care. Just like the big wall of sound stuff. So I like Gojira. So I put them on the list. Right? They're brothers. There you go.
Yes.
Them. Okay. There's my next one.
Next one. My insert other one here.
The third one I have mentioned. There we go.
Oh well, I'm gonna go back older here, and I'm going to throw out the Kinks.
I forgot.
With Ray and Dave Davies.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. A little bit more 60s going on here. Because I do when I think anyway, yeah. So this my list is kind of old kind of rock and roll, and then kind of punk rock, and then old time rock and roll and punk rock. So anyway, that's
all right.
It's bad.
That's fine. I don't. Yeah, listen. I have Bad Brains, CCR, and Gojira on my list so far. It's fine. It's just
really.
This pretty encapsulates my very wide tasted music. So I feel like this is good.
Yes. Okay. Yes, this is true. I like it. I just I realize I've kind of Anyway, I'm looking at my list and I want to make sure I mentioned the next one. So anyway, what's in your?
All right, my next one. I'm gonna put my early punk rock stamp on this list because I do love me some punk rock music, and so I have to go classic. I have to go the Misfits.
The Misfits.
Boom.
Hey,
the Misfits. Right, I like the Misfits a lot.
Yeah,
I like listening to them. Controversially, I don't think Michael Graves is that bad a singer, so it's fine. Oh. Turns out maybe he's not a great person, Whoops.
There is that.
But, there's that. But I don't mind that album. Okay. I just like the Misfits are so weird. Like, I like them.
Mm-hmm.
Part of me just likes the turmoil and weirdness of the band. It's just like so interesting, right? Like,
yeah. Well, they had
like 2 albums and they like hated each other for years, and like it's all great. So,
and they had a whole other their whole horror
it was like horror vibe,
yeah, going on too. It just made it really like they were definitely a what is going on here kind of group,
right.
and I think the fact that they even made those 2 albums was a miracle in and of itself to get that.
It definitely is
with them,
because they don't get along very well, right? Like,
right.
It's so hilarious, but so that like the whole backstory of the whole band is just fascinating, right? Mm-hmm. It's just so interesting and strange because they sometimes they're best friends, sometimes they literally hate each other. It's ridiculous, but I like their music, and I like how I like I don't really I'm not a horror movie person, right? But cheesy old B horror movies I do like. So I can get behind the vibe of horror punk a little bit because it's it's not supposed to be serious, right? They sing about the weirdest stuff, but it's half joking, or it's just a joke. It's funny and it's supposed to be campy and just ridiculous, And so I can get behind that. The lyrics, if you just listen to the lyrics out of context, not wonderful, right? You'll be a little bit what in the heck? You have to be kind of in on the joke, right? Don't just go singing Misfit songs around. Okay, you're gonna get some bad looks from people.
Yeah. Yeah, people are going to have some questions. They may pull their children in across the other side of the street.
But sometimes they're actually singing the plot of a movie, or it's a campy, weird horror thing. It's just funny. I think it's funny. So I just like the Misfits. So I put the Misfits on my list. You got to show some love for the Misfits and Jerry Only and Doyle because they're the brothers in that band. So there you go.
Okay. Okay.
Those are not their real names, but surprise, Doyle Wolfgang von Frankenstein, not his actual name. Who would have guessed, right? Wow.
I don't know. Have we seen them in the same room or not? We haven't not seen them in the same room. So I think we can pretty well do that. But anyway, okay. Well, my next one is a band born in the 70s. Some would say born in the heart of the 70s. Yes, I'm talking about Ann and Nancy Wilson.
That was really good. I can't be mad at that. That was really good.
I just looked at that and I was like, right,
oh yeah, that was good. Yeah, that was excellent. I like
it. Great band. I really like Van Hart. Ann Wilson has just still can belt it out and is amazing vocalist in everything that she does. So I really like this, and I periodically run across, and then my brain just stopped. Where Hart performs at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction of which band is this? What's the other rock band? Oh my gosh, this is
the other rock band, of course.
Okay. Look, I'm going to figure this out.
Okay.
But I watched this performance of Anne singing this probably on an annual basis at this point. It's just phenomenal and is by far away just a wonderful example of both of their artistic talents. So Hart is on my list.
Nice. Very good. All right. To find my other thing here. Okay. So my final entry, right? Final entry. Here we go. A bit of a newcomer on my musical radar, right? Also, weirdly, the second French band on the list. Don't ask me how that happened.
Right.
So I am going to show some love here. I'm going to go with, and I'm sure I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right. The band's name is Slift.
Slift.
Oh yeah, Slift. Right.
Okay.
With the most French brothers of all, it's Jean and Remy, of course.
Yeah, well,
obviously,
I mean,
okay. It's like it's very like space rock, psychedelic stuff, right? But it's real cool. I really like it.
Okay.
When I discovered them, the first time I saw them, right, they got recommended to me on a YouTube thing, and so they were doing this thing with like the levitation sessions. That's like a psych rock festival thingy, right? But they filmed this video inside of an old particle microscope tower thing, and it's just the sickest looking thing ever. And so I was like, I have to watch this. Like, I have to. This is important. Right? It's like so it's like real heavy, like psych rock, and it definitely has like spacey vibes. They definitely sing about like rockets and like controls and stuff. I don't know. That's not important. The music is cool.
Okay.
Right. Like it's very like just like put it on in the background and just like kind of vibe out to it. It's really nice. I like that's a band that I've been listening to the most recently is this band. I've listened to some of their stuff. I listened to that Levitation session a lot because it's just awesome. They have a new album that I listened to the other day. It's really good. So I recommend some Slift for you. Right. Just like real like psychedelic space rock. That's a genre that you're into or want to be into. This is the one to go for, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Some of the guitar parts are awesome. Like the 1,000 Helmets of Gold. That song is great. Right. The or whatever that song is. That song's really cool too. I like the guitar parts in that. So it's really neat. I like that one. It's just like a very interesting sonically. There's like tons of like crazy sounds and like weird guitar riffs and harmonics and things happening all around. So it's neat. There we go. That's my number. That's a firm number one as of right now.
Firm number one. Okay.
As of today. As of actually right this second. Now,
who knows?
Who knows about like next week? But as of right now, that is my number one.
Okay, so look, I am not proud of this. That other rock band that my brain was trying to desperately claw at was Led Zeppelin.
Okay, I thought it might have been because I thought I remembered something about that, but I wasn't for sure.
Yes. They at their induction of the Hall of Fame. Hart came out and performed "Stairway to Heaven," and my goodness, it is nice. It is good stuff. So I recommend that. I just sent over that link that I may or may not have saved somewhere. Fine. Again, going through this list, it was very much a reminder of, oh yeah, that band, and like, oh yeah, look at them.
Oh yeah, and there's tons of bands that I like, but it's like a song, right? Like,
yeah, it is a song. So I'm going to go ahead and return to an emo punk rock roots here, and I'm gonna go with my My Chemical Romance with this one.
Oh yeah,
with Mikey and Gerard Way.
Yeah,
yes.
There we go.
Yes.
All right.
So yeah. From their formation to their eventual, long good night or whatever they're doing right now. So they're doing a reunion and going on some tours and stuff now. But they're just they were of a time, and I was of a time, and I appreciate everything that they've done. So
can't be mad at that, right? It's all right. You're definitely not the only person, so that's good.
No, it's that's what I kind of know.
List, you do whatever you want.
Learn about what's going on here. So, anyway, yes. So, I'm definitely a fan of more of their older material, but that's just because of that. Again, first mover advantage of what I was exposed to first. So, I definitely struggle with that. Of again, getting back to my on my list of Creedence Clearwater Revival. Like, look, there was like 3 years to select songs from, so like everything's kind of in the beginning. versus bands that now have been playing for 20 years. It's like, oh man, kind of hard for me to get on board with their later stuff, but that their original stuff, like that's where I am. But trying to grow as a person too, and just be like, okay, maybe
I think every fandom has that, right? Like it depends on when you come in, right? And then people like argue too much about like, oh, that's not as good as this. Like, what doesn't matter? That's what it is this time, right? Like, and so like you can't. The Metallica fans are notoriously horrible about this, right?
Well,
because they were like thrashy, right? And then they were like, the Black Album's cool, and then they did like a bunch of weird stuff. It was like weird, like post grunge, something strange happening there. Like I don't know.
Well,
like,
I was going to.
Every album has people that love it because that was their first Metallica album. You know what I mean? And so like that's valid. You can't be like you're wrong. Like, well, no, but like.
Well, I was going to say the other one for me is so Metallica's one, but like the Beatles obviously have like people who are very like, oh, the White Album, how dare you, like the White Album, Abbey Road, or like this is the canonical, or this is the quintessential Beatles. When they were so reinventing of themselves, like that was kind of what they did over the course of their careers.
Like every Beatles album is like quite different, right? Like you can't look at the White Album and like Sgt. Pepper and be like, it's weird that that's the same band, right? We need to like face it. That's weird.
But
okay, like that's an odd thing.
We just have to embrace this, that the 1967 Sgt. Pepper is way different than even 2 years before Yellow Submarine. Like, come on, people. Like, this is not.
Or like real early Beatles, right? Like Ringo, right? That's just like weird. Like, it's weird. It's like of the time, it's like, like I Want to Hold Your Hand and all that stuff. But like, and that band also made Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Heart Club Band. Just think about that for a minute, right? That's that's wild.
Well, and that was, and then even then, like, where Revolver came before Sgt. Pepper's just by a year, and like even then, that one is still, that one's a different. Anyway, it just, but like you can really tell like when, like, again, that first mover, or like how you define that for yourself. And it is what that with, obviously, like every band and every fandom has that of like, no, this is the one. And it's going, no, it's the one you like.
That's true. So. Yeah. Well, not every band, right? There are some bands, like one that I left off my list, right? I'm sure there's somebody yelling at me right now listening to this going, you left off the most obvious band in the history of bands for a band that has brothers in it. Yes, I did.
Oh,
I left AC/DC off my list.
Oh,
right. Because like it's good, but literally every AC/DC song is exactly the same. Right. I said it. It's not bad. I like AC/DC, but I have never like owned an AC/DC record. Right. Like what you hear on the radio is enough. Like, okay, it's fine.
Right.
I do like them. They're a very important band, very influential, but like, I don't just want to listen to a ton of it. Right. So that's one honorable mention. It's like dangling over here. Like, oh, you forgot this one. Like, I didn't forget it. Right. I would, if you gave me the choice of saying, do you want to listen to AC/DC or Bad Brains? I'm picking Bad Brains.
Fair.
Right. Have to. Fair. That's just.
I would add another one of that of brotherly bands that is very samey. The Beach Boys.
Yeah.
Like
that's another one.
Yeah. Of a time.
I like the Beach Boys. Their stuff is good. They're like really good songwriters. But like, I didn't. It's just not my vibe, right? I don't really like. Clearly, from the rest of my list, the Beach Boys doesn't really fit.
Doesn't
in there?
Crazy,
right? I did also leave off the. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was wondering if you're going to have Fugazi on your list at all, but
thought about it, right? But I do like Fugazi, but it's I would rather listen to Minor Threat than Fugazi. So like it was, it's okay. Like I have that 13 songs EP somewhere, the album. I like that one. I like Fugazi, but I Yeah, it's fine.
Sure.
I did also leave another one that I thought about, and I like the band, but like I don't like listen to them a lot. That new band, newer, that Greta Van Fleet band, they're brothers. There's brothers in there. It's a good one, right? That band, I laugh. That band, the people like some people like really hate them. Do you know about this? Do you know about Greta Van Fleet?
No, I don't.
Right. So it's like a modern band, right? Some people like absolutely hate them because they sound too much like Led Zeppelin. Right. They have a very like 70s rock vibe. Right.
Okay.
That's like their thing. Right. It's very 70s rock. But like all these people are like, you sound just like Led Zeppelin. But these are the same people that like are complaining on the internet that real music is dead and more bands should sound like Led Zeppelin.
Right.
And then when somebody does, they're like, you're just copying them. That's lame. You're like, bro. I mean, they kind of do. I mean, they have like a vibe going on, but like, since when is more Led Zeppelin things bad? First of all, who ever said that? And second of all, you can't go, there's no rock music anymore. And then Greta Van Fleet goes, hello, we're here to play your songs. They go, no, you're lame. You just sound like Led Zeppelin. Like,
got you.
Says the dude in a beard wearing a Led Zeppelin t-shirt. Like, what? But you like, but you're killing me. You're absolutely killing me. Right? I can't. So there's I'll mention. And my last honorable mention, which I just put on here for the laughs, and because it's a little bit timely, actually, No Doubt. Right? They've just announced some reunion shows. Right? Of course, Gwen and Eric, right?
Yes.
Started No Doubt. He wasn't in it like the whole time, but he started the band in the 80s. Hey. But that's a timely because I read something about they're going to do some reunion shows, some festivals and stuff. So, also I have written down here. Susan asked me to interject. Her answer to the question, favorite band with siblings. Susan's answer is, of course, the Bangles. So, just wanted to add that. Wanted to make sure we add that in there too. We got the other opinion there to make sure we show some love to the Bangles. Right, that's a good one. So,
Bangles. Hey, got it. Good one. Yeah, I mean, there was other ones on here that I was of. I had thought about. Van Halen was one of them. Of like, yes, yeah, but I probably won't.
Yeah, and I also I only ever really want to listen to like 2 Van Halen songs,
and then I need to put it down, right?
Yeah, so, it's like I don't need too much Van Halen, right? Yeah. It's too much.
Yeah, and I tried to stay away from names of bands that had like brothers in them, right, or the family. So yeah, it's like, look, I need to make sure that this I want just it's going to be not quite so on the nose, but
that's true. Although I will say I didn't realize that like Sister Sledge was actually sisters.
Oh,
right. I didn't realize that like Sly and the Family Stone were actually all just family. I didn't realize that. I just thought it was a name. Like this is not something like I'm really into, right? So when I was reading the list, I was like, huh, oh really? Oh, that name makes so much more sense now.
Yeah, because you don't think Twisted Sister, and you're like, oh, there must be some this relation there.
Yeah, no, but like, yeah, I didn't realize that. So there you go. Sorry, Sly, didn't know. Okay, I apologize.
We obviously, this list, just as we have done in many times where we have made lists where there's an undisputed champion and we're not picking that one. The secret behind the scenes discussion here, dear listeners, is that the best band that we set off to the side was Nickelback, and we chose everything else.
We did not do that.
So that was the presumed number one, and everything else starts at 2 and lower. So that's just
that hurts me. Really, it does. You can't.
Okay. Okay, I like this list.
Yeah,
this was a weird one to work through.
It was a weird one, but it's kind of fun to work piece through.
I need to do this one. Maybe
revisit at some
revisit.
Point. Like,
it's time.
Well, we'll call the next one 5 other bands that also have siblings. Look for that in a couple months. Right. Yes. We'll do that. Here's just 5 more bands that also have.
Yes.
We've done like the heavy favorites. Right. And now we'll just do the deep cut ones. Right. We'll really hit some of the esoteric ones. We're like, I like this one song a lot. Yeah,
that's what we'll get to. Like,
and then
like this one song with brothers performing it.
Yeah. There you go. Right. So yeah, we'll revisit it, and then we're going to call it 5 more.
Yes.
I'm down.
Okay.
I can pick 5 other really strange bands off this list.
I think that's what we'll have to
highlight here.
Yep. And then we'll have to find the one song that we like. That's our challenge.
Yeah, I can do that.
Well, again, I look at the list. I look at the list of bands. It may just be
it's a lot more than I thought.
It's a lot more than I thought. And again, like I feel like they were a lot older. Like there were a lot
of them are
60s, 70s, 80s.
There's a lot of 60s stuff on there.
Yes, so many 60s bands on there. So I think anyway, so that just made it interesting because I was like, am I only picking bands here that are older bands? I was like, well, it's just a higher hit rate. I think
there might be a higher hit rate, right?
And just there. So yeah, that's good. Okay. Well, I will wrap us up here with the haiku.
Beautiful.
Yes,
been waiting all day.
Okay, did not miss it. And seriously, I gave that talk this morning. I have not been able to not clear my throat. It's just it's annoying. I ran out. My voice went dry for 3 minutes and never recovered. So ready. So I'll read it. In Best Buy's bright blue, strange tech whispers of progress. Time's dance leaves me still.
That was incredible.
I tried to capture the essence of my befuddledness of wandering around Best Buy, being like, "What? What is all this in here? Why is this happening?"
I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I think you nailed it. Right?
Okay,
just bam, got it. It's so good. I like that one.
It's still. It's so weird in there, and I don't. As therapy, I combed through and made show art. I think one of an old inside image of what Best Buy used to look like, and I was like, "There, see."
Yeah, I saw that. I saw it when I.
That's how you do a tech store. You set it up that next to the
cram it full of stuff.
Yes. Head height things with stuff shoved on them. That's what you do. Rows of that. Make it look like a labyrinth. Come on, people.
It's the IKEA way, right? You can't find your way out of there. That's what you gotta go.
No, you have to buy something to get help. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Held hostage. So. So with that, we can go, and I'm gonna go. I don't know. I'm gonna go make some tea before I go to sleep. So my throat can
get some honey.
I need lots of honey.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I love you.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye.